RIA lab.
Brooke?
Caroline?
Yes. Listen, are you free around lunchtime? I'd like to talk to you.
About what?
There's something that we need to discuss.
Can we do it over the phone?
No. We can't.
A discussion with me.
Let's say that it's more of an ultimatum.
Caroline, what in heaven's name are you talking about?
Meet me at the Ocean Club at noon and I'll tell you. And Brooke, I'd be there. It's of the utmost importance.
All right, what about July?
Confirmed it on the dock.
Good. And August?
We'll be ready.
Good. This is good work, son. Now, that brings us to another matter.
What's that?
I've been hearing some very strange rumors of late.
What kind of rumors?
Does the expression mud wrestling mean anything to you?
Mud wrestling? Do you really think that I would?
Look, I know how impassioned you are about this bachelor party, Thorne.
Dad, it's my sacred duty as Ridge's best man.
Let's not get carried away, though, all right?
Are you kidding? Ridge is my only brother. I'm never going to have another chance to do anything like this for him ever again. I'm going to send him into that marriage on a damn rocket.
Just make certain he gets there in one piece with at least a modicum of his virtue intact, all right?
Trust me. Dad, I'm going to show him the time of his life. But don't worry. I will have him there at the altar in the morning.
This has turned out to be much more than your brother's bachelor party to you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. For Ridge, too. Almost a coming-of-age kind of a thing. You know, Dad, this is my one chance to show him how much he really means to me. Despite everything that's happened, we're solid.
Things have really come together for you two, finally.
Yeah, you know, I've never felt better about him, nor he of me. This wedding has just been a real watershed for us.
It seems to be bringing the whole family together.
I guess that's what weddings are supposed to do. Unite people.
You keep that in mind, all right? While you plan this bachelor party.
Oh, Dad, that's the guiding principle. Get people together. Unity. Male bonding. Closeness. Naked women. See you, Dad.
So what brings you by?
Well, I think you could expect me to drop by any time from now on, at least for the next 2 weeks.
2 weeks? My God, is that all it is?
It's 2 weeks from Friday.
Come by to terrify me, is that it?
Yes. I stopped off to see Brooke, and I had absolutely no luck terrifying her.
Women don't scare easily. Why'd you stop by there?
I wanted to discuss something with her that we both observed earlier this morning.
Oh, what was that?
Caroline. Her change of attitude. I'm very happy to see that she's finally coming to accept the idea of the wedding.
This letter from you, Ridge. It could have changed everything. If I'd just gotten it in time. But then, after all is said and done, maybe I did get it in time.
You really are out to destroy my relationship with him.
No, Brooke. You destroyed your relationship the moment that you took that letter and kept it away from me. That is when it started. Don't you know that you cannot begin a relationship based on a lie? My God, that is so obvious to me. How could you think that it could ever work? Brooke, the end does not justify the means. It never has. This is no exception.
Okay. You seem to have all the platitudes. What about mercy and forgiveness? How do they fit into your equation? Or don't they?
Brooke, I can forgive you for what you did to me. But I can't. And I won't turn my back on Ridge. That's what you're asking me to do, to ignore what you did to him, to pretend like it never happened, to enter into some kind of sordid collusion with you to keep the truth from a man who's very important to me. My husband's brother. No, Brooke, I won't. If you don't stop seeing him, then I'm gonna tell him everything. He has a right to know who he's involved with. If you won't tell him, then I will.
Caroline, no! Don't tell him. He'd despise me. I just couldn't bear that. I'll do what you ask. I'll stop seeing him. But just, please don't tell him about the letter.
I won't. You have my word, Brooke. If I have yours.
Don't expect too much from Caroline.
Oh, I've gotten much more than I ever expected.
Then don't push her, Mother.
I don't intend to. Matter of fact, I even volunteered to do the shower for Brooke, but she wouldn't hear of it.
You know, that one kind of threw me, too.
I spoke to her about it this morning.
What'd she say?
She's sending a message,
To who?
all of us, that the family is important and that she really wants to be a part of it.
It still isn't easy for her.
No, but she's had a lot of tender, loving care from Thorne. And I believe that she's beginning to see the light.
Thorne certainly believes that. He's loose as a goose these days.
Yeah, the bachelor party he's planning. I'm glad I don't have to be there.
He's going crazy with that.
Well, maybe you should tone him down a little.
Thorne never. He's at his finest. It's like he is when we were kids. Yeah, I really miss that.
I have a feeling you got a chance to revisit it.
I'd give anything to have that back. As different as we were, we always depend on each other. Seems so long, I've almost forgotten about that.
Yes, it all changed when Caroline came into your lives.
Mother, don't blame her.
I don't. Believe me, I don't. Could have been any woman.
No, it couldn't have been any woman. Because Caroline isn't just any woman.
The private dining room just to discuss my wedding shower?
Right on time.
Yeah, I didn't want to be late, because I know how busy you are.
That's true. But then, There's nothing more important than what I have to talk to you about today.
You make it sound so important.
It is.
Is it about the shower?
No. It has nothing to do with the shower.
Well, then what is it that you want to tell me?
Brooke, I told you on the phone that I have an ultimatum for you. And now you seem to be ignoring that.
I thought that you were only joking.
I wasn't.
So, what kind of an ultimatum?
It has to do with a promise that you made to me a long time ago. Do you remember it?
A promise?
Yes, an agreement that we made. I kept my end of it, and you didn't.
Why don't you tell me what it is, Caroline?
I'll give you a hint. Does this ring a bell?
Another wedding dress.
I do seem to be inspired in that direction these days, don't I? My God, it's marvelous to be inspired by a family wedding.
It's a wedding I'd rid the thought of.
That's not true anymore.
Okay, quite the contrary.
That's what's marvelous. Your acceptance of Brooke.
She's fulfilling a need for this family, that's all.
No, it's much more than that.
Really, what?
Well, think of Thorne. This party he's throwing for Ridge. How happy and energized he is these days. And Caroline, the change in her attitude. Even Ridge is free and easy these days, and that's something I never would have expected of him 2 weeks before his wedding. The entire family seems to have taken on Brooke's liberated spirit, if you know what I mean.
Don't try and sell me on this, Eric. I understand Brooke's importance for Thorne's stability. It's the very dependence on Brooke that I'm concerned about.
And now she seems to be influencing Caroline as well.
If that were true, I would be thrilled to believe it.
I thought that you got rid of that.
You hoped that I did.
It's the letter from Ridge, so what about it?
Let me refresh your memory.
Caroline, please, you don't have to do
Indulge me, Brooke. My dearest Caroline, where do I begin? So much has come between us. Some of it circumstances, most of it my own stupid fault. But that's behind us now. During your trial, I didn't want to intrude. I didn't want to make things any more difficult for you. But now I can't hold back any longer.
You can stop now, okay?
No, I want you to hear all of it. Every word. You should know what my feelings are. But just so there's no doubt, I love you. I love you, Caroline. I'll never stop loving you. I know that now. We need to talk. After you've had a chance to remember what we had together, what we can still have together. It's more important to me than anything in my life. I've made a reservation in the private dining room at the club. 6 o'clock. Just the two of us. I'll expect you unless I hear from you. All my love. Rich. That's why we're here today, Brooke. We've sort of come full circle. Back at the private dining room. Where it all should have come together for Ridge and me. But it didn't. Because of you.
You know, I just can't fathom Caroline.
Oh, I understand her completely.
Do you?
Well, you don't just get over being in love. Especially being in love with someone like Ridge.
Well, she's had a lot of help from Thorne, hasn't she? This wedding means so much to Thorne and to his marriage.
You sense that already, do you?
From him, I do. But I'm still having trouble reading Caroline.
Well, I hope that Caroline will be all right. She appreciates Thorne. But more importantly, she knows that Ridge and Brooke are headed down the path to that wedding on the 16th. And like it or not, there's nothing that she can do to stop it.
Okay, you've made your point. I haven't even begun to make my point, Brooke. Then make it, because I'm leaving. You made a fatal mistake when you intercepted this letter from me and kept me from reading it for so long. But the biggest mistake that you have made yet is to break our agreement.
What agreement?
You know what agreement. Now, I promised that I wouldn't tell Ridge what you did to me, what you did to him. Keeping me from reading his letter in which he told me that he loved me. And in return, you promised that you would back off and never see him again.
Well, I didn't break that agreement. Ridge did.
Oh, don't even try to suggest that, Brooke. It's up to you whether or not to see him
Look,
again.
will you just make your point?
It's very simple. I am going to give you one more chance to make good. And only one more chance.
Do you honestly believe that I could back away from Ridge now? Without raising questions? That's impossible, Caroline.
I know that's impossible. That's not what I'm asking.
Then what are you asking?
Just to even up the odds a bit. I want you to move out of the house. Tonight.
Move out?
That's what I said.
And what do you think that will accomplish?
Maybe nothing. But in light of everything, I don't think that I'm asking that much, Brooke. Am I?
Forget it. No way.
Fine.
What do you think you're doing?
You'll see.
Caroline! Don't do this to yourself. That letter means nothing. Ridge doesn't feel that way anymore.
Then you shouldn't be threatened by him seeing it and hearing about how you kept it from me.
Will you just listen to me?
No, you listen to me, Brooke. You entrapped Ridge and he doesn't even know it. And now you're about to marry him. Well, I can't do anything about that. It's too late. But I am demanding some equal time. Now, for the next 2.5 weeks, you are going to move out of that house, and that means each and every night. And if there's still a wedding after that, then so be it. You're going to tell the family tonight at dinner that you're moving out until the wedding.
And what if I don't?
Then you'll be moving out anyway. Because I'm quite certain that that's what Ridge will ask. After I've had a chance to talk to him about this. Now, what's it going to be, Brooke?